In the brisk autumn of 2001, off the coast of South Africa, the stage was set for an oceanic discovery that would etch itself into the annals of marine biology. A seasoned marine biologist, Dr. Emily Carter, stood at the helm of the research vessel AquaQuest. It was equipped with the latest shark tracking and observation technology, purposefully cutting through the churning waters. Her team, a dedicated group of researchers, comprised experts in their respective fields. Among them was Dr. Carter's 10-year-old daughter, Lily, whose fascination with the ocean had been nurtured by her mother's lifelong passion. The expedition had unfolded seamlessly thus far. Their primary focus was on tracking a 16-foot great white shark they had named Apollo. Apollo was known for his sheer size and aggressive tendencies, leaving an indelible mark in the lore of shark research. The tension mounted as Apollo's movements were meticulously tracked. The massive predator had circled their vessel for hours, a potent mix of excitement and unease permeating the research team. Apollo's reputation as a formidable presence in these waters was well earned, and Dr. Carter was determined to unravel the reasons behind his behavior. Suddenly, Apollo's enormous form surged forward in an explosive burst of aggression. His jaws clamped onto the vessel's side with a force that sent shockwaves through everyone on board. Instruments and equipment crashed to the floor as the boat shuddered under the impact. Amid the chaos, Lily was hurled overboard, her tiny figure vanishing into the dark depths. Dr. Carter's heart seemed to freeze as she watched her daughter being swallowed by the abyss, carried away by the relentless current. Adrenaline surged through her veins and she barked orders to her team, their training kicking in. The AquaQuest was now perilously listing to one side, and water rushed into the damaged hull. With life vests hastily donned, the researchers plunged into the frigid sea, swimming towards where Lily had last been seen. Dr. Carter's mind raced. She couldn't afford to lose her daughter to the unforgiving ocean. A sense of dread gripped them as they reached where Lily had disappeared. There was no sign of her. Panic threatened to engulf Dr. Carter, but she knew she had to remain composed. She was the leader, the rock upon which her team depended. Amidst the frantic search, a collective gasp escaped the researchers. Apollo had returned, circling them ominously. His colossal form cast a shadow that blotted out the feeble sunlight, an eerie reminder of their vulnerability in these unforgiving waters. Dr. Carter's heart pounded in her chest as she realized the direness of their situation. Apollo was a formidable predator, and they were exposed to the water. But Lily was out somewhere, and they couldn't give up the search. With grim determination, they decided to repurpose their research equipment as makeshift weapons. Spears and data-collecting poles became their defense against Apollo's menacing advances. It was a risky strategy, but it was all they had. Hours passed like a blur, hope dwindling with every passing moment. Just when despair threatened to take hold, one of the researchers spotted a minor figure in the distance. It was Lily, struggling to stay afloat, her small frame battered by the relentless waves. Dr. Carter's heart soared with relief, and her team swam towards her, their collective strength propelling them forward. Lily was barely conscious when they reached her, but they pulled her onto a life raft and wrapped her in blankets, shielding her from the biting cold. As they distanced themselves from Apollo's domain, the great white shark circled them one last time before vanishing into the depths. Dr. Carter couldn't help but feel a mix of awe and fear. Apollo had displayed both his incredible power and an unexpected sense of curiosity. Back on board the AquaQuest, Lily was examined by the ship's medic. Miraculously, she had suffered only minor injuries and was expected to recover fully. Dr. Carter held her daughter close, relief streaming down her face. The incident would forever alter their lives, a stark reminder of the untamed nature of the ocean and the unpredictability of the creatures that inhabited it. Dr. Carter would continue her research with an even more profound reverence for the great white sharks she had devoted her life to understanding. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting hues of orange and crimson across the South African waters, the AquaQuest sailed back to port. It bore the weight of a harrowing encounter and a newfound appreciation for the enigmatic mysteries of the ocean and the unyielding spirit of a mother and daughter who had stared into the jaws of a great white shark and lived to recount the tale. In the ominous waters of Australia's Poutine Islands, shrouded by a perpetual cloak of mist and known as a sanctuary for great white sharks. 2011 marked a fateful turning point for the Johnson family. A vacation meant to be thrilling had transported them to the very heart of nature's most formidable predator. The Johnsons, a family of 4, embarked on this adventure with trepidation and excitement. 10-year-old Emily, with her wide eyes brimming with wonder, was the youngest among them. Mark was his 15-year-old brother. Her parents, Richard and Elizabeth, had promised their children an unforgettable experience, a promise they would soon come to regret. Their vessel was a rugged boat designed for cage diving expeditions. It was meant to bring them face to face with the awe-inspiring great white sharks that prowled these waters. As the Johnsons huddled in the boat's cabin, anticipation and nervous energy coursed through their veins. The morning sun struggled to pierce the thick fog that enveloped the Poutine Islands, casting an eerie pallor over the scene. Like a restless beast, the sea roared and churned, an uncaring testament to the raw power of nature. The waters were alive with the presence of these apex predators, their ominous silhouettes lurking beneath the surface. The cage diving experience commenced, and the Johnsons donned their wetsuits and helmets. Emily clung to her father's hand, her eyes fixed on the monstrous shadows circling the cage as it descended into the depths. Their adrenaline surged as they watched the mighty and majestic colossal white sharks in their element. But the balance between exhilaration and danger was a delicate one. Without warning, a powerful underwater current suddenly rocked the boat. Panic spread like wildfire as the Poutine explorer capsized, sending the Johnsons into the churning abyss. In the chaotic moments that followed, instinct overrode fear, and Richard Johnson rose as their unwavering protector. Gasping for air and struggling against the relentless waves, he surfaced, desperately scanning the tumultuous waters for any sign of his family. Elizabeth, their faces etched with terror, and their younger son Mark appeared nearby. Emily, however, was nowhere to be seen. The merciless sea had swallowed the little girl, and a sense of helplessness gripped her father's heart like a vice. Richard's survival instincts took over, with the waves threatening to engulf them at any moment. He knew that saving Emily was paramount, his sole focus amidst the chaos of the open water. In a heart-pounding race against time, Richard turned his attention to finding his daughter. The roiling sea, now his adversary, refused to yield its precious cargo. The minutes stretched as he swam deeper, scanning the murky depths with frantic determination. Then, just as despair seemed poised to claim him, a glimmer of hope emerged. A flash of Emily's bright orange wetsuit caught his eye, and he lunged forward, his powerful strokes propelling him towards her. She was struggling, gasping for air, but her father's strong arms enveloped her, and he pulled her to the surface. Back on the surface, the turbulent waters showed no mercy. Their strength and unpredictability tested Richard's mettle as he fought to keep his family afloat. The waves, like malevolent giants, relentlessly pounded them. Richard made an emergency call to the rescue team from his radio transmitter. Time seemed to blur as they clung to each other, the relentless sea indifferent to their plight. Richard's eyes never wavered from the horizon, searching for any sign of rescue. As minutes turned into hours, fatigue threatened to pull them under. Their salvation came in the form of a distant speck on the horizon. A rescue vessel, dispatched in response to the Richards from the ill-fated Poutine explorer, had spotted them. With a surge of hope, Richard signaled frantically, their chance of survival growing with each passing second. The rescue team, skilled and determined, approached with practiced precision. They pulled the battered Johnson family from the water, their faces pale and their bodies trembling from the ordeal. Emily clung to her father, her eyes haunted by the memory of the abyss. The Poutine Islands, as if sensing that its quarry had slipped through its grasp, receded into the mist. The great white sharks continued their timeless dance in the depths, indifferent to the human drama that had unfolded above. Back on the rescue vessel, wrapped in warm blankets and surrounded by compassionate strangers, the Johnsons clung to each other. The relentless ocean had tested their limits, and they had emerged more robust in the crucible of survival. The Johnson family's vacation had been unforgettable, but different from what they had envisioned. It was a harrowing brush with the untamed forces of nature, a stark reminder of the thin thread that separates life from the abyss. Nestled along the breathtaking coastline of Baja California, Mexico, lay a place of natural beauty and wonder, where land and sea merge in a captivating dance. 14-year-old Sophia had always felt a deep connection to the ocean, and it was this connection that drew her to the trip of a lifetime, a journey into the heart of shark-infested waters. The opportunity had arisen through her school, an excursion organized by her enthusiastic geology teacher, Mr. Albert. He was a man whose passion for the natural world was infectious, and he had taken it upon himself to impart that passion to his students. As Sophia and her school friends gathered at the shore, excitement and anticipation rippled through the group. Their backpacks were filled with notebooks, cameras, and snorkeling gear, a testament to their mission: to witness one of the world's greatest predators up close, the mighty great white shark. As they boarded the boat, the sun hung low in the sky, its warm rays casting a golden hue upon the azure waters. Sophia couldn't help but feel a sense of awe as the vessel glided smoothly away from the safety of the shore. Mr. Albert, the ever-enthusiastic teacher, stood at the helm, a grin of pure excitement on his face. He began to regale the students with stories of great white sharks, sharing facts about their size, power, and the mysteries surrounding their behavior. The boat ventured further into the heart of the shark-infested waters, the rhythmic churning of the engine providing a soothing backdrop to Mr. Albert's narrative. The anticipation among the students grew palpable as they scanned the water, hoping for that elusive glimpse of a great white shark's dorsal fin. As the boat slowed to a stop, the crew began preparing the cage, a sturdy metal structure that would allow the students to observe the sharks up close yet remain safely separated from the predators. Sophia and her friends, clad in wetsuits and snorkeling gear, eagerly descended into the cage, their hearts racing excitedly. The water was surprisingly straightforward, and the visibility was excellent. They had a direct view of the underwater world, a realm of hidden wonders and lurking dangers. As they settled into the cage, Sophia's gaze was fixed on the world beyond the metal bars. It was a world teeming with life, schools of colorful fish creating a mesmerizing ballet of movement. But it was the great white shark they had come to see, and the tension in the cage was palpable as they waited in breathless anticipation. Time stretched, and Sophia's eyes never left the deep blue expanse before her. Then, without warning, the ocean seemed to come alive. A colossal shadow materialized from the depths, its form taking shape with every passing moment. It was the unmistakable silhouette of a great white shark, a behemoth of power and grace. Gasps of awe and excitement escaped the students as the massive predator glided effortlessly through the water. Sophia felt thrilled, a mixture of fear and wonder coursing through her veins. The shark's cold, unblinking eye locked onto her, and for a moment, time stood still. The great white shark veered towards the cage as if drawn by some inexplicable force. The students held their breath, their hearts pounding in their chests. The predator's immense body brushed against the metal bars, its massive jaws mere inches from Sophia's face. In that heart-stopping instant, Sophia felt an indescribable connection with the creature. The shark's eye held a depth of wisdom that transcended the ages, a knowledge born of millennia of survival in the unforgiving depths of the ocean. It was as though, for that fleeting moment, they shared a profound understanding. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, the great white shark glided away, disappearing into the watery abyss. The students erupted into excited chatter, their voices filled with wonder and awe. They had witnessed the ocean's apex predator in all its majesty, an experience that would forever shape their understanding of the natural world. But the awe-inspiring encounter was not without its dangers. The calm waters suddenly turned turbulent as the students marveled at the shark's departure. The boat lurched violently as a massive force struck it from below. Chaos erupted on deck as the vessel rocked perilously. Shouts of alarm filled the air as the students and crew struggled to maintain their balance. Sophia's heart pounded with fear as she clung to the side of the cage, her eyes wide with disbelief. It was then that she realized the unthinkable had occurred. The great white shark had returned, and in its fury or confusion, it had rammed the boat with unmatched force. The impact had caused the vessel to capsize, sending everyone into the treacherous waters. Sophia was tangled in a web of fear and confusion in the chaos. The sea churned around her, its waves like giant hands seeking to claim her. She fought to stay afloat, the instinct for survival propelling her upwards. Sophia's eyes scanned the tumultuous waters as she surfaced, gasping for breath. Panic surged within her as she realized the direness of their situation. Her fellow students and Mr. Albert struggled in the water, their cries for help lost in the roar of the waves. Mr. Albert felt the severity of the situation. Through the crashing waves, Sophia spotted her teacher struggling to stay afloat. Determination overcame fear as she swam toward him, her strong strokes cutting through the water. Mr. Albert, his face a mask of exhaustion and fear, locked eyes with his little student as she reached him. At that moment, words were unnecessary. Their connection was forged in the fierce embrace of the ocean, a bond between a true teacher and student that transcended words. Together they fought against the relentless waves, their bodies battered by the force of the sea. Sophia's determination and Mr. Albert's unwavering strength became their lifelines, their sole focus to survive and be reunited with their family and friends. Minutes passed each moment, a grueling battle against fatigue and despair. The rescue team, alerted by the distress signal, arrived on the scene, their searchlights cutting through the darkness. They pulled the survivors from the unforgiving sea, their faces drawn and their bodies trembling from the ordeal. As they sailed back to the safety of the shore, the events of that fateful day hung heavy in the air, a reminder of nature's raw power and unpredictability. The great white shark, the enigmatic creature that had drawn Sophia to the ocean's depths, symbolized both awe and respect. It had tested their limits, challenged their understanding, and ultimately left them with a profound appreciation for the fragile balance of life and nature. Nestled in the pristine waters off the coast of New Zealand, the idyllic setting of turquoise seas and rugged cliffs served as the backdrop for a sailing trip that would forever be etched in the memories of a group of teenagers. They had gathered to celebrate the 16th birthday of their fearless friend Alex, a young soul with a spirit unyielding to fear. Alex, with a perpetual twinkle of adventure in their eyes, had convinced their friends that this was the perfect way to mark the occasion. Their sailboat, the Mariner's Dream, stood ready for the voyage, its white sails billowing in anticipation. The group consisted of 5 close-knit friends. There was Julie, the creative soul with an uncanny ability to find beauty in every moment. Chris, the science enthusiast who always brought a sense of curiosity to their adventures. Maya, the avid sailor who shared Alex's love for the open sea. And Jake, the quiet but dependable friend who could always be counted on in a crisis. As the Mariner's Dream ventured further out to sea, the exhilaration in the air was palpable. The sun-dappled waves seemed to beckon, promising a day of adventure and discovery. Alex stood at the helm, the wind tousling their hair as they navigated the vessel with a confidence that belied their age. They sailed to a secluded bay, a hidden gem known only to the most fearless sailors. The water in the bay was clear as crystal, and the group dropped anchor with a sense of triumph. The day promised to be perfect, a celebration of youth and the boundless possibilities of the ocean. Alex's birthday festivities began in earnest. The group shared stories, laughter, and a picnic on the sailboat's deck. Julie had brought a cake, and they sang a spirited rendition of Happy Birthday as Alex blew out the candles, their eyes filled with the joy of friendship. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting hues of orange and pink across the water, a sense of tranquility settled over the group. It was then, in the serene twilight of the bay, that the unexpected unfolded. A sudden, bone-chilling tremor rocked the Mariner's Dream, causing it to sway dangerously. Panic swept through the group as they clung to the deck, their eyes wide with fear. The sea, which had moments ago been their playground, now seemed an unforgiving force. And then, with a jolt that sent shockwaves through their very beings, it happened. The unmistakable, chilling sight of a great white shark, its massive form slicing through the water, was upon them. It was a creature of awe-inspiring power and majesty, its magnificent and terrifying presence. The shark's colossal jaws clamped onto the sailboat's hull, and the vessel shuddered under the force of the attack. Wood splintered, and water began pouring into the boat. Panic gripped the friends as the reality of their predicament sunk in. Amid the chaos, Alex's fearless demeanor remained unshaken. With quick thinking, they rallied their friends, instructing them to grab life vests and make their way to the tiny life raft secured on board. Fear and adrenaline coursed through their veins as they hurriedly gathered minimal supplies: a few bottles of water, a first aid kit, and a flare gun. The sailboat sank rapidly, its once sturdy frame now compromised by the shark's relentless assault. The group clambered onto the life raft, their hearts pounding with fear and hope. The open sea stretched beyond them, vast and unforgiving, as they drifted away from the sinking sailboat. As reality set in, terror gripped the friends. They huddled together in the cramped confines of the life raft, their eyes darting anxiously at the dark waters around them. The night was still save for the gentle lapping of the waves against the raft, and the moon cast an eerie glow upon the scene. Amid their fear, Alex emerged as the pillar of strength. They spoke with a calm authority, reminding their friends that panic would not serve them. Instead, they urged the group to ration their supplies, to stay vigilant, and to keep their hope alive. The hours stretched on, each one feeling like an eternity. The group knew their only hope lay in a rescue, but the open sea offered no guarantees. Fear gnawed at their resolve, threatening to overwhelm them. Yet Alex's determination remained unyielding. They spoke of survival stories they had heard, stories of resilience in the face of adversity. They encouraged their friends to share their dreams and aspirations, to keep their minds engaged and their spirits buoyed. Time seemed to blur as they clung to the life raft, their bond growing stronger with each passing moment. It was a test of their friendship, an examination of their will to survive. Through the darkest hours of the night, they clung to hope, their eyes scanning the horizon for the telltale lights of rescue. And then, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in shades of pink and gold, a sight that filled them with hope appeared on the horizon. A rescue vessel, alerted by the mariner's dream emergency signal, approached with determination and skill. As the vessel drew closer, the group's relief was palpable. Their ordeal was ending, and they had weathered the storm together. With practiced precision, the rescue team pulled them from the life raft, their faces etched with exhaustion and gratitude. On board the rescue vessel, the friends clung to each other, their spirits lifted by the knowledge that they were safe. They had faced the unimaginable, a great white shark's attack, and emerged on the other side, tested but unbroken. As they sailed back to the safety of the shore, the events of the past night hung heavy in the air, a reminder of the unpredictability of the sea and the strength of friendship. Alex, the fearless friend who had shown unwavering determination and leadership, looked out at the open ocean with a newfound respect.